Hello, hello, hello. Happy, sweet day to you from your little world, or from my little world to your little world. I want to share with you that I am in my little makeshift office. Sweet day. There you are. You're all showing up. I'm in my little makeshift office and I'm standing barefoot on the floor. There's an entry door right there. There's some little Mexican road or rescue rats right out there. So we are in Mexico and we might hear all sorts of crazy noises. So as you're showing up, I would love to know who you are. Tell me your name, tell me where you're coming in from, and tell me why you're here. That's what I want to know. I want to know, what is it about this particular mini workshop that has drawn you to me and to these teachings, and to sit here with me or be here with me for an hour today, to dedicate an hour of your time. So please tell me who's here. Tell me where you're coming from. There's always going to be a little bit of a lag. If you're coming to me through Facebook, please remember that you want to give permission to StreamYard so I know who you are. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user. So I would love to know who is here with me today and how it is that you are showing up. And as we begin, as we enter into this, because your time is very precious, I want to remind you that the reason that I am here today is twofold. Number one, I want to share what has worked for me, and I have a deep desire and a commitment to helping you rise into your next best and highest evolution. That is why I'm here and why I want to be here with you. So Gail says, I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and my cousin knows you. I wonder who your cuz is, Gail, because I'm not thinking I know offhand who that would be. So I'd love to know who that is. So tell me why you're here too. Offer that in and up. And then I also say, there they are, they're all dropping in. And then also, please make sure you got a piece of paper and a pen, because there's going to be one very, very powerful exercise that you're going to be practicing with me today. And then also, I want to make sure that you've gone potty if you got to go potty, and you've got something to drink, so that you stay well hydrated during this time together as well, if that's your thing. Alrighty, I mean, we really don't need that water for that hour, but if you're already feeling a little bit dehydrated, then I say go get that. So like I said, front door right there, street noise. Who knows what those Mexicans will be selling on the street right out that door, but it's bound to happen. Little doggies, rescue doggies right out the door over there. So we're bound to hear things. And here I am just sweating my way through Mexico. So, all right, so here's here. Look, there's Janine Larson from Portland, Oregon. There you go. Perspective on thriving. I also want to learn more so I can share more info on your program. Thank you. Lori Smith, Sandy, Oregon. And my daughter Tootsie is with us from Austin. Awesome. Nan from Merida. Whoa, from here. That's so awesome. I'm super excited that you're here. There's this thing, like, you're never a prophet in your hometown. So no matter where I live, it seems like it's very rare for people who live really close to me to like follow my teachings. Like my sisters follow me, but they don't even live near me. So it's kind of one of those things. Sue Ann from Portland. I remember you, Sue Ann. Perfect. Time fit with your schedule. Wonderful. Brittany from Tennessee, 45 years old, had a hysterectomy last year, and this body is a stranger to me now. Oh, amen. Feeling you there. Diane from Virginia, 71 years old, and just here to find hints. Perfect, you guys. This is so perfect. I'm so glad you're all here. All right, so without further ado, we're going to enter into our hour-long workshop together, a little mini workshop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to screen share right here. There's Stephanie from Annapolis. All right, I'm going to go ahead and screen share. And we're going to get right on and in to the grace of this particular workshop. All right. So what I would love to hear from you, what I would love to hear and experience and know from you is your questions throughout. I want you to keep on piping in. I'm going to be really focused on sharing the content, and then I'm going to circle back and look at the questions, and then I'm going to come back to the content just like that. So I just want to make sure that you know that we are right here doing this together. All right. So, dun, 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 dun. I do want this right here. Now, how did I do that? See, now I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a health educator. I guess I had to come back and say, hi, Lisa. Hi, Malaya. I'm looking so forward to you guys coming here and being with us. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here and do the screen share. All right, let's do that instead. And then I want to go ahead and get this back up. All right, so today, as we enter in, there are really two very specific focuses. One is we're going to be focusing on what I'm calling the 4 secrets that every woman needs to know and nobody is talking about. Those 4 secrets that every woman needs to know about her health. Because there are secret, not intentionally secret, but things that we just haven't necessarily spoken about that would be so valuable for us to be speaking about, and simple ways that we can change our life from the better from the inside out. Now, the alternative title to this is quite the same, but different, and that is The Real Woman's Guide to Thrive Through Aging, Change, and Menopause. Because so many of us are in that stage, and undoubtedly, all of us are going to go through that stage, whether we go through it with the hysterectomy early on in the game or we go through it, quote unquote, naturally. We're going to go through it. Nobody gets out of here without going from being a young, fertile woman to being a sage on the other side, or a queenager, from teenager to queenager, as I like to say. And so these two are deeply and intimately connected. So what I want to say is that the actual menopause and aging questions, I would love to have you put those questions. I'll give you a time at which you can put those questions into the queue so I can see those questions. And meanwhile, keep telling me why you're here and keep telling me where you're from. I want to know all those things, and we're just going to get right into this. All right? Here we go. Alrighty. So ultimately, in this little workshop, in this webinar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you these 4 secrets, if you will, but they're really pillars. They're pillars for life. And by the end of our time together, you are going to learn how to identify these 4 pillars in your own life and in your own world. And you're going to see practically, I'm all about being practically how you can use these 4 pillars to live a more inspired, more resilient, and more impactful life. So I invite you to stay with me until the end of this little workshop for 2 reasons. One is, if you decide that you want to join me on the journey, I'm going to be sending you the dessert for breakfast. This is my little recipe booklet, and it is filled with recipes that I've used on retreats for going on 20 years. If there's one thing that my students say about me on retreat, it's that when I show up to teach on a retreat, you can darn well be certain that the desserts are going to be orgasmic. And what I'm committed to is being able to have those desserts not only delicious, but so nutritious and so packed with healthy fats and proteins and deliciousness that your biggest food critic would go, oh, these are so good. And you wouldn't want to tell them what's in them, because then they'd think, how can they taste so good? And also, they're just that nutritious, you could eat them for breakfast. So that's dessert for breakfast. So that's what I'm going to be offering as a bonus at the end. But what I want you to know too is that I want to be totally present to you, and I invite you to be present to you as well. So if you're up for it, turn off all those distractions, put things on hold, and just hang with me for these next 45 minutes. I promise I'm going to fill you with some goodness that's going to be of high value. All right, so we're going to start right out with the exercise, right out of the gate with the exercise that is a life changer for me. This is an exercise that I turn to anytime that I want to up-level my life, anytime that I close my eyes. I was working with a client this morning, And I said, gosh, you know what I do is in the mornings is I just close my eyes. It's just organic to me. I do it in my meditation, but I imagine that I have a little battery inside of me. And I'm thinking, okay, what percentage is my battery? Am I at 94% and I'm good to go? Or am I like at 16% and I'm just starting into my day and I got to do something about that? That, along with these 4 pillar exercises coupled together, is the way in which that anytime that I'm trying to up-level my life, and it's not about being more successful, it's just about being happier and more resilient and joyful and juicy, if you will. So we're going to jump right into the exercise so you have this, because this is the foundation of what we're going to be doing together. All right, so you're going to grab a piece of paper. It's simple. Do a regular big old 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, or if you've got a journal page, and you're just going to go ahead and hatch that with 2 intersecting lines, and you're going to write in the following quadrants: upper left, do, just tiny; upper right, think; bottom left, feel; and bottom right, know. Now, in each of the quadrants, here's the deal. You're going to write what you are currently doing, thinking, feeling, and knowing. Now, if that sort of rattles your brain right out of the gate and it's too much work, hang with me, stick with me, come on back to me if you're multitasking. For example, what I do regularly is I run 3 days a week, 2 to 4 days a week, I'll say. Really ambitious weeks, feeling really great, 4 days a week. 2 days a week if I have my menstrual cycle, if I've got a super heavy workload, but never less than 2 days a week. I practice yoga a minimum of 4 days a week. Now that's very different than it used to be for me in the past, but I practice yoga 4 days a week. I always keep water with me on my desk. This is a thing that I always do. I get a massage a minimum of twice a month. I eat vegetables as the predominant aspect of my diet. I meditate every morning. Sometimes, meditation is closing my eyes and petting my dog and saying thank you and saying a little prayer, and then envisioning myself sort of sitting at the feet of a sage elder and just saying, I offer my life to your wisdom, just walk me through. And that might be at other times I can sit there like in the meditation zone for 40 minutes. And then I also pray. I pray every day, every hour, probably. It's just part of my life. And when I say pray, I also just simply mean I just think good thoughts. I look toward the positive, and we'll talk about that more. Now, if you're thinking just in this little do section, all right, over and out, I'm not doing any of those things. I'm drinking wine. I'm staying up late. I'm eating Twinkies. Guess what? Then see the second point in this exercise? Instead of writing what you're currently doing, write what you could be doing, right? Write what you could be doing. So keep your eyes on the prize. You can write what you're currently doing if those things are serving you, and or write those things that you're currently doing and write anything that you could be doing. Note to self, you can steal. You can steal from any of your inspiring mentors. You can steal from anything that I just said. Go for it. So then in the think quadrant, what am I thinking? I'm thinking, I have everything I need to get through this day. I'm thinking, my greatest offering in this next hour with you is to be of the greatest service that I can be. I want to fill you up with inspiration and practical tools and knowledge that's going to serve you. This isn't about me. I'm thinking, I am the world and the world is me. I'm thinking there's always something greater that's holding me. I'm thinking I'm blessed. Those are some of the things I'm thinking. If instead you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this day? Oh my gosh, my cramps are killing me. Oh my goodness, I feel so fat and overwhelmed. And how am I going to get out of this? Again, turn your eyes toward the prize and write what you could be doing. Then we go into feel. What are you feeling? Right now, I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling excited. Generally, I'm feeling relaxed. Almost always, even on punky days, I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling helpful. I'm feeling trusting in something greater. I'm feeling abundant. I'm feeling devotional. I'm feeling connected. So again, write what you're thinking and feeling. It's good to know where you are. That's always good information. And then write what you could be thinking, doing, thinking, feeling. Now, know. What is it that you know? Okay, this is a big one because this is like in your bones. It's not the words that your grandma said. It's not the things that you rattle around between your ears. It's like, what do you know? What I know is wherever I go, there I am. So those are someone else's words. Yes, indeed. But I know that beyond the shadow of a doubt. If I'm crabby and stressed out, I'm going to be crabby and stressed out on the beach. And I'm going to be crabby and stressed out in the bedroom. And I'm going to be crabby and stressed out behind my desk. It's just the nature of it. But if I'm positive and I'm hopeful and I'm tending to my heart and I'm tending to my body, I know that energy follows attention. I know that there is something greater than me at play. I know that I have been, am being, and always be taken care of. I know that I am never given more than I can handle. I know that my objective and the reason that I'm on this planet is to serve and to do good things in the world. That's what I know. So you do that for you. Do, think, feel, and know. Don't be freaked out if you don't feel those things or doing those things or know those things. Just be aware of where you are. Like, celebrate the little victories and then circle one in each quadrant that you want to focus your energy upon. And now that becomes your pillar. That becomes your pillar for doing, for thinking, for feeling, and knowing. And we're going to come back to that. Okay. Now, if you're here, fully here, and if you're not, come on back to me. If you're multitasking, come back again, come back again. You're here because of one of three reasons, I believe. And the reason I know this is because before I came to do this particular workshop, I asked a lot of my students, what is it that you really, really want? And this is what I got, these three reasons. And I believe you fall into one of these three categories. You're longing for a deep and authentic life where you know your own intuition and you honor your body's needs. And finally, you stop pushing so much. So if you're one of those doers, shakers, movers, pushers, you're just ready to get to know and to build relationship with your own inner voice, your own intuition. You want to live, you want to have a deep and meaningful and authentic life. And you're just ready to say, I don't want to push anymore. That's number one. Or perhaps slowing down and listening might not necessarily come easy to you, but you are ready to pay close attention and you are like done, full up to here. In Spanish, we say basta, which just means like enough. You're done being dragged into the woods because somebody says, you need to do this, you should do that. Oh, you're not going to do that. And you feel the pressure going in all these different directions, except for where that shaky little voice inside of you that says, I need to go my way. This is the way to go. So perhaps you're that. Or maybe you just know, and I know this every single day in my bones, maybe you just know that there's more out there for you. And when I say out there, it can be right here, in here, for you to feel, for you to experience, for you to be on this planet, and for you to share of yourself. And you want to be sure of yourself, not for the world, but you want to be sure of yourself for you, so that you're comfortable and you're confident, and so that you can make the greatest impact in this life for your very own good, for the good of others, those people that you know, love, those people you trust, and the paths that you cross in this life, and for the good of the world at large. Maybe it's that big. So it's sort of a trick question, but maybe it's not. Maybe you're all these things, or maybe you're more specifically one of these things. I would love to hear which one of these speak to you the most. Are you longing for depth and authenticity in your life? Are you just ready to listen to that inner voice within you and stop with the pushing? Or do you want to rise into your next best and highest evolution so that you can make the big and real and potent difference that you have been longing to make? So those are the three that I offer up. And so I'm just going to go ahead and come right back on over here. I want to see what we got. Looking to age gracefully. Hello, sweet lady. So glad to be here with you from Kansas City. Hey, Krista. And the food is bomb. You know, it's been a lot of years since we've been on retreat. So tell me, please do tell me, which of those three categories do you fall into? And if you need that little reminder again, they are longing for depth and authenticity, ready to listen to your inner voice and stop pushing or wanting to rise into your next best and highest evolution so that you can make a real difference. Yes, so I'm seeing comments rolling in from all places, from Facebook and from YouTube, and I'm just here to say thank you. Yes, longing for deep depth and authenticity from Susan, wanting to rise into your next best and highest evolution. That's Tessabella. Rise and make a difference. Absolutely, that's Janine. So thank you. Keep those coming. When you know what you're here for, like not just here in this moment, but what you're here for on the planet, all these things make such a huge difference. The tiniest little things make a huge difference. Depth and authenticity. There's Malia. And Gina's saying, ready to listen to your inner voice. I love this. So as I said, this is what we are, all women in one. And so your voices are most definitely reflecting that. Okay. So heading back on over to our slideshow. Here we go. All right, so a little bit about me. Here you go. Okay, so the picture on the right is a picture of my partner, Hector, who speaks no English, and myself, and we are in Troncones. We are in what I refer to, I laugh because I called it the spa day for the women that were on retreat. And really it's this amazing hot spring that bubbles forth from the middle of the ground in the jungle. And so we were there on retreat, and the Four Seasons actually goes and has folks harvesting some of the clay, this clay, from underneath the roots of this banyan tree that's like underneath the jungle floor. You reach under and pull it out and put it on your face. So that's my partner Hector, salt of the earth, beautiful human being. The picture in the middle is me when I was in Japan and I was raising money. I laugh again. I was a celebrity yoga teacher. Now here's what's funny. I didn't know I was a celebrity. In fact, I was sure I wasn't a celebrity. I'm still sure I'm not a celebrity, but people were coming to sign autographs and were paying big money. But here's the good news. All of the money was going to this orphanage where that little boy by my side in the blue t-shirt who's like this, that's how he smiled, was like this. He said by the end of the day, he followed me around and he wanted to marry me. The woman waving up and over my left shoulder, she was the head of the volunteer team at the orphanage. And then the woman in the pink was my translator. So this was my posse when I was in Japan, raising money for an orphanage. And then we all need our people. And here in the other photo is Deb Kern at the center. She's a soul sister and a mentor for many, many years. Many of you know Chris Northrup, Dr. Christiane Northrup. She wrote Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom, Goddesses Don't Heal. And she was for many years a mentor of mine. And the three of us were at dinner in Portland, Oregon one night. And out came the tarot cards in the middle of this amazing, beautiful restaurant. And they were having a medical emergency and sharing a reading with another friend that was there. And I thought, wow, I am really lucky that I live in Portland. So that's me and Deb and Dr. Chris Northrup. And I tell you all that just simply to say we all need our people. And it's a beautiful journey to not take all things so seriously. So that's that. Now, a little bit more practically about me. I've taught more than 20,000 hours of yoga and mind body health related things. And I've been online and teaching online for more than 15 years. I've lived and studied and I've taught across the globe. I really, really do live these teachings. And here's what I like to say. I wake up every single morning before the sun, and honest to goodness, 90% of the time, maybe even more, I think I'm being conservative, 90% of the time I rise inspired, rested, and ready for whatever is coming. And I just get at it, whatever it is. And if for some reason that other 10% of the time I'm just not feeling so inspired, guess what I do? I just get at it. That's the key. Because what I have learned is that even if I feel tired, even if I feel uninspired, that if I just get at it, then I know that what it is that I do in life is going to determine the outcome so much more than what happens to me. For it's not what happens to us that determines how I feel and how productive I am between the ears, in my own heart, in my body, in my relationships, in my life, how much love I produce. It's what I do with what happens that makes the difference. And it's the same for each of us. So why am I here today? In all transparency, there's a program that's coming right around the corner. It starts on August 9th, and it's called the Radical Self-Care Roadmap. I promise you are going to get a full and free and complete experience today. And I'm here because I want to teach you a little bit about A, how I teach, and B, what is possible. Because more than anything, I want for you to feel how I know you can feel each and every morning when the sun rises. So the content of this workshop is the basis of this back by popular demand program that begins on Monday, August 9th. And it's called the Radical Self-Care Roadmap. And so today I'm going to give you a taste of my approach, and I'm going to give you a taste of this program. And my hope, of course, is that you join me for this upcoming 28-day journey. But here's the deal. I promise you that there's going to be no pressure. I offer no pressure. And that no matter what you choose at the end of this little workshop, I only want for you to rise. That thing that is said that you indicated was the reason you're here, I want what I give you today to be seeds that are planted in your garden so that you can move in that direction. Okay, here we go. You have everything you need to rise. You don't need me. That's the truth. You don't need any more education. You don't need anything. Everything that you need to rise into the next best and highest evolution exists within you. All you have to do is find the way in which to awaken it. That's what we all have to do. So I want to ask you a question. Can you imagine what it would feel like if every morning you awakened so full? Like, just close your eyes and take a breath. So full. And so ready to rise and get yourself out of bed and to live your best life, because it's ultimately your life that really lights you up. Can you imagine that? Here's the deal, and here's the bottom line. Being conscious, you can be that. You can do that, because being conscious and intentional with your day-to-day choices, right? Celebrating those little wins of body, mind, heart, and spirit, which essentially is do, think, feel, and know, right? We're prefacing for this. Being conscious and intentional with your day-to-day choices of body, mind, heart, and spirit is the single most powerful way to rise into the highest expression of yourself, so that you can share your best self with your family, with the people that you touch, with your work, and with this world that so deeply needs us to be present and to be ready for anything. So if you're like me, you like to know where we're going. So I'm just going to walk you through what we're doing here today. We're going to start out and focus on the body. Then we're going to move into the mind. Then we're going to move into the heart. Then we're going to move into the spirit, your spirit. Then I'm going to talk about what your options are in terms of your next steps. And then I'm going to open it up to live Q&A. Number one, secret number one, your body. Your body is your new old BFF. So what this means to me is that your body has always been with you, is always going to be with you, and is with you right now to give you all you got. So go ahead and drop in the comments, if you'd be so kind, and tell me, what are the qualities of a best friend? What are the qualities of a best friend? Tell me some of those things. Yeah. So a best friend is honest with you. That's right. A best friend never leaves your side. That's correct. A best friend holds space for you. That's right. Yep. Yeah. And a best friend will tell you like it is. over making you feel comfortable. Exactly. All of these things. Exactly right. So here's what I came up with, and this may resonate with you. A best friend is going to tell you the truth. A best friend is going to have no agenda for you to be any different than you are. A best friend is going to do everything possible to support you. A best friend is never going to abandon you, ever. And a best friend wants you to be efficient, clear, at ease, and productive. Ladies, that's this. That is this. Your body ultimately and entirely is your best friend, right? So I'm just going to take a little pause. That's the body piece, really. That's the body piece. And I want us to remember, as we just take a breath into that, like, what is your relationship with your body like? Is it adversarial? Is it positive? Is it trusting? And I offer that you and I, we don't need to be totally in love with every detail or aspect of our body, thank goodness, in order to hear and to heed her wisdom right here, right? We don't need to be totally in love with every detail or aspect of the body to hear or heed her wisdom. The only requirements are you listening? Are you willing to listen to her, to what she has to say, this body? Can you trust that there's a reason? Can I trust that there's a reason that I have more tension when I drop my ear to my right shoulder versus when I drop my ear to my left shoulder? Can I trust that there's a reason that my low back hurts? Can I trust that there's a reason that I curl my toes when I sleep? Can I trust that there's a reason that I'm getting a tight, low tummy, right? And am I open to receive those reasons? And am I willing to take just one tiny little step? One tiny little step. All right, so I'm just going to pull back out here again. I would love to hear from you and see what you're saying. So loves me no matter what, yet more on what you're having to say. Alignment with the divine in every action for aliveness and contribution. Yes, loyalty. Exactly. There when you need them. Brittany says supportive. That's exactly right. Brittany says forgiving. Patsy says loves me no matter what. I mean, you're like, the body just totally loves you. She's not going anywhere ever. As long as you're here, guess what? She's going to be there. Right? How do we offer up respect and connection to the body? How do we do that, right? How do we do that? Okay, so those are your requirements. You don't have to love every little detail of your body. You just simply have to be willing to listen to your body, trust that there's a reason for the messages that you're getting, be open to receive those messages, and then be willing to take even a tiny little step. Take good care of your body. It's the only place you are ever going to live, right? I mean, just feel into that. Is that so not true? Take good care of my body. It's the only place I'm ever going to live. Yeah. So Candace is an author and a life coach. She's a student. She's a soul sister. And she says, I start my day right by prioritizing what I have learned works well for me and keeps me grounded and productive. So she and I had a conversation where I said, all right, you've studied with me for some time. What is it about working with me? What is it about the teachings that come in and through the program, this program, that touch you and move you and have shifted you? And she said, I start my day right by prioritizing what I've learned works well for me, keeps me grounded and productive. My toolbox for getting through life's challenges is robust. I know what to do and when, and now I do it. And I make way better choices and take better care of myself. And it's no longer a struggle. It's an honor. Wouldn't you like to feel like taking care of yourself is not a struggle, that turning toward eating really well and honoring your inner voice is a joy and an honor to do so versus some sort of diminution or loss? You can, right? This is the experience that Candace had in studying with me. Secret number 2. So the first one, remember, body. This is it. Listening to it, knowing it well. Your mind. Your mind. Your mind is your command center. So in the yogic tradition, we call it Agya Chakra, right here. It is your command center, not the control center. This is key. What we know about the mind and the way that it works in the world is that energy will follow your attention. What you place your attention upon, right? Blue elephant, blue elephant, blue elephant. Don't think about a blue elephant. Don't think about a bright yellow tractor. Do not think about high top red tennies. No, don't do it. Don't think about that. Don't think about sunflowers. Do you see what just happened? The mind just goes, oh yeah. Oh, there's no way not to. Energy follows attention. Addictions, we know this to be true, from shopping and sexuality to plastic surgery, to wine, to coffee, to exercise, to attention, to whatever it may be, addictions run deep, right? The addiction itself is really the manifestation coming forth into the world, interacting with the world, where there's an imbalance underneath the surface. What we talk about and what it's going to take is for us to find our way home to our hearts through our bodies by using the command center of the mind to bring ourselves back into harmony and balance. Your mind is either your reliable ally or it is your worst enemy. And sometimes in the same day, it can be both, right? Now, the mind is not to be controlled. So this might conflict with something that you've heard in the past, but the mind is to be understood and respected. And when we know that thoughts become things, right, that what we think is what is made manifest. So for example, this is a tile from a place called Dolores Hidalgo. Someone's thought became this thing, right? What else? This is what I use for my little pencil jar. It's a aceite de oliva. It's an olive oil tin that I cut the center out and I use for my pens. This was in someone's mind. The shape, the colors, the heart. Thoughts became things, right? Thoughts become things. This is the nature of it. So here's the work. When it comes to the mind and using the command center wisely, what we want to do is turn our attention toward the sun and let the shadows fall behind me. In other words, I don't have to worry about what not to eat. I don't have to worry about what not to think. I don't have to worry about what not to do. I don't have to worry about who not to spend my time with. Don't feed that. Turn your attention to what you want to eat, to the way in which that you want to be in the world, to the relationships that nurture you, to the activities that nurture you. Turn your face toward the sun and just allow the shadows to fall behind you. This is the key work of the mind. If you attempt to control the mind, you are essentially attempting to control what we often call an unruly husky. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. An unruly husky puppy. But here's the deal. Thoughts become your words, right? We know that. La, 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 blah. Words become your actions. Actions over time become your habits. Habits over time lay the foundation for your character, and your character essentially becomes the foundation and the essence of your life. It starts here, Agya Chakra, where thoughts become things. Treat the mind like the unruly husky puppy. So there's a book that I had when I was training my golden retriever puppies, and it was called My Smart Puppy. So if you have a puppy, it's a really great book, and it comes with the DVD. And it is about redirecting. So with this little book that I had called My Smart Puppy, what I learned is that when my little puppy went with his razor sharp teeth and got into my hand, I'd take my other hand and just go boink right in the ribs, right in the ribs, right in the ribs. And he'd go, what's that? What's that? But the end result is he'd stop biting. And then over time, he learned that he didn't want to bite without even thinking about not wanting to bite. He just learned a different way because I kept redirecting his energy away from the biting. So we do the same thing. We redirect our minds. I was telling one of my clients, I work with a big corporate client, and I do team building with an international branding and advertising firm. And I was saying, I don't actually like to exercise. I'd just gotten back from a run, and I'm like, I don't like to exercise. I've never liked to exercise, but I've always exercised. Why? Because I know that once my mind gets a hold of me and says, oh, I don't want to do this, and I've not turned my attention toward the sun. I've turned my attention toward shadow, 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 shadow. Right? I want to keep turning my attention toward the sun, and that inactivity falls behind. So that's it. Now here's, I love this graphic. Okay, choose one anchor phrase and put it in all the places, right? So you might go back to those and you might say, memorize what works, or you might say, the mind is an unruly husky puppy. Or you might write down, thoughts become your words become your actions, action become your habit, habits become your character becomes your life. Or you might write down, turn your attention toward the sun and watch the shadows fall away. Choose one anchor phrase and put it in all the places. The reason I chose this graphic is because I did a training some 25 years ago, and I wrote down all the things that were the most inspiring to me, and I put them on little note cards, and I taped them on the wall right across from the little toilet room. It really is a toilet room, right? Like, it's just like a room, and the only thing in there is like 2 magazines, little basket with 2 magazines, and the toilet, nothing else. So in that little toilet room, I had these things. And to this day, 25 years later, I can close my eyes and I can remember that they were on little pastel colored cards. They were written in colored pencils. I'd sort of written cursive-ish with little bubbles, dots on the edges of the letters. And I remember the exact words. I remember I never quite believed that one chance was all I got. I remember light as a feather, with integrity and seriousness, and with the confidence of someone without a care in the world. Like, I remember all of these things. Those anchor phrases can be the nourishment for your roots, so that when life does this, you still can turn toward the sun. So I just want to take a little pause right here, and I want to say, tell me, how is this resonating with you? Is this sitting with you? Does this make sense? Does this touch you? Right? Can you see how just body and mind is all we focused on? But when you look at body and when you look at mind, how these are the anchors and the potency of the practices of self-care. And this is how you live optimally. Right? Does that resonate with you? I'd love to hear. I'm seeing yes, yes, thank you. Yes, good. Yep. Oh, I so needed to hear this. I'm so glad, Susan. Right? So thank you. I just want to make sure that you're getting what you came for. All right. So coming back in. Here we go. Back on over. Moving right along. Your third secret, your third pillar, if you will, is your heart. This is your connection to everything. As if to say, let yourself, there's that little voice inside. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Now, why strange? Strange because it is unique. Your path and the way you're walking is unique. It's not the same as Susie Smith. It's not the same as Mary Jones. What's going to pull her to what she really loves? Quilting or gardening or the tree of life or hearts or classical music or rescuing puppies. Everyone is different, but let yourself be silently, and silently as if to say, you don't have to defend anything. Just keep moving in the direction, in the pull. Let that pull take you toward what you really love. It will not lead you astray. The heart will always tell you what is true and real through your thoughts and through your body, right? Your body will never lie. It might give you signals that you think mean one thing, but your body is always going to present balance or imbalance. Your thoughts are going to assess that, and we want the body to be as clear as possible in order for the mind to assess that. And your heart is always going to express attraction and retraction from what is true and real. Your only job, sweet one, is to pay close attention, nothing more. Notice what happens to your energy. Pay close attention within. Notice what happens to your thoughts. Does something you think expand you or contract you? Does it awaken you or does it shut you down? Do you feel competent or do you feel incompetent? Notice what happens, and then notice where in your body you feel it. And then look for patterns, right? This is where we look for patterns, because the patterns will reveal to you where you have laid down ways in which that your body is receiving information, and where it is harboring stress, where it is shutting down, and then noticing if you reach for a glass of wine, if you reach for your phone to dumb scroll with your thumbs, thumb dumb scroll, right? What do you do? What are those patterns for numbing out and dumbing down? Now, when I asked Valerie about what her work was like when I said, hey, you've studied with me for a long time, what is it about this program? What is it about this program that you receive? She said, oh, this is easy. I am able to better discern what is true in my heart and come back to my center much more quickly so that I can navigate high pressure situations and deadlines with much greater ease and joy. And she's in a high stress radio production job in San Francisco. So I ask you this, and I ask you it out loud. If you please post this in the comments. What does your heart really long for that you haven't quite given yourself the space to bring into your life? Is it growing flowers? Is it spending more time with your grandkids? Is it writing more? Is it spending more time discovering healthy eating? Is it cultivating connection with a sisterhood? Is it building relationship with a nonprofit? Is it tending to the needs of your physical body? What is it that your heart is longing for that you haven't quite given yourself the space to bring into your life? So I'm just going to pull back here, and I want to hear from you. So tell me what you got here, what you need more of. Love me no matter what. So tell me. All right. I want to hear from you. Bring it on. What is it that your heart is longing for? I'll tell you what my heart is longing for. I'll be really transparent while you're writing yours down. My heart is longing for right landing. Like, I've been moving around a lot in the last few years. I want right landing. And when I say right landing, I think about how it is that I find my feet beneath me in a place that is nourishing to me, that is peaceful, and where I can really thrive and be vital and be of the highest service. A big awareness I've come to recently is how imperative it is. Here I'm 50 years old teaching you about this. You ready? I am so aware how imperative it is that I am thriving. Because when I thrive, that is when I serve, just like it's just moving through me. And so I know I have to be in a place and in a space where I am thriving. Having more time, Sue Ann Batchelor says, having more time to be creative with my glasswork, with knitting, with quilting, with pottery, to find my passion. Yes, wanting flow and ease and connection, more peace with my aging self, absolutely. More connections with others and with peace, more time with friends and freedom, absolutely. Identifying what it is that your heart is longing for is so important. We want to be able to know that there are sails and then set those sails in the direction of abundance in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies, and in our spirits. All right. So then, your spirit, the last of the 4 pillars, your way that you do you. Now, this is huge. You have a very unique way of showing up in the world, and knowing that is key. So this is Liesel. This is one of your radical self-care roadmap peeps and students, and who this is her daughter. And here's what I just think Liesel's saying is, she says, there's definitely a better way to do your life. It's your way. So it's never too late to follow your spirit. May we do that. May we be willing, like here, pigtails, may we be willing to say, you know what? I don't have to follow any rules. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm only hurting myself if I'm shutting myself down and not paying attention and listening to myself every single day. What is it that I need in order to thrive so that I can be of the highest service in this world? How do I determine that? Here's Ginny Eklund-Like. She's one of our students as well. She's a health coach. What did you love as a child, right? Tell me about that. What did you love as a child? Did you love to sing? Did you love to dance? Did you love to write? Did you love to lie in the grass with your feet up the tree and look at the clouds? Notice that and recultivate that again in your life. And where you feel small is where the doorway is. As if to say, where there's a tiny little place where you say, you know what? I don't know about this. There's a little bit of a doorway to enter into that. So if you love something as a child and you're nervous about bringing that into your adulthood, I say enter into it, where you find that connection between what you loved as a child and what vitality is longing to move through you in this moment. Walk through that tiny little Alice in Wonderland doorway. Start small, right? You want to knit more, buy knitting needles. You want to paint more, buy socks that have paint brushes and a palette, right? You want to play more piano, buy earrings, or buy a little piano keyboard at a yard sale. You want to sing more, turn it on when you're cooking, in your car, in the early morning when you're organizing before you get going. Do these things. Start small. Don't worry about going big. Start small. It's where everything starts. Right? What does Margaret Mead say? Never doubt that a small, committed group of citizens can change the world, for it is the only thing that ever has. This world too. Start here. And then get comfy with being uncomfortable. Like, it's okay if you wake up and it's like, I just still am not. No giving up. Like, no giving up. No dumbing down or numbing out. No giving up. Keep showing up. Keep showing up, and you will rise each morning inspired. You will wake up in the morning and go, oh, guess what I get to do today? I get to make food. Not, oh my gosh, I have to make more food. I make food every day. I make food my whole life. All I ever do is make food, and empty trash. I get to empty the trash. I have 2 hands to empty the trash. And then keep pushing yourself in the direction of those things that just make you a little bit uncomfortable so you can grow consistently in comfort. Lori Jo Daniels from Portland, an artist. She's totally a nature lover, and she is a fairy maker for any of you who are with us on retreat with Lori Jo. Oh my gosh, Lori Jo's words. Oh my gosh. There's no going back to who I was, and I am now confidently walking the path of my own authentic calling. I am so inspired. She makes these beautiful prayer box and transition boxes with art, and fills them with all these beautiful jewels and finds and things, and then she sends them off to people when in a new home, or if you have a new baby, or you've got a new job, or a major transition in your life. That's the work she does. So listen to what your body, your mind, and your heart tell you, and then go in the direction that expands you. Because here's the deal, right? When we talk about going through menopause, what's happening is the body is shifting. We are molting an aspect of ourselves. It's the same with any major change: empty nesting, going through a cancer diagnosis and treatment, loss in a major relationship in our lives. Anytime any of those things happen, there's a molting, and there you are, naked, soulfully naked and raw skinned, saying, I don't even recognize this body. I don't even recognize myself in this life. When you begin to animate again to alma, your soul from the inside out, then you have the energy from that place, the joy, the twinkle in your eye again, to do what is necessary for your body to thrive, to clear the mind, to awaken the heart and know the voice of the heart, and to follow your spirit wherever it longs to take you. There is no wrong way, so you don't have to do it this way. There is no wrong way to do you or to do your life, but there is a better way, and that way ultimately is your way. Not my way, your way. And my work is constantly to hold the lamp and to help you find your way. The only difference, dear one, between where you are right now and where you want to be are just the steps you haven't taken. Like, we make it so complicated sometimes. The only difference between where you are right now in your life, in your body, and where you want to be are the steps you have not yet taken. So your next steps, right? Secret number 5. You can take your pick. This is how I see it. You can keep doing what you're doing, right? Keep doing what you're doing, or you can follow a proven roadmap. Margie's an amazing woman. She's the mother of Liesel. She graduated from Harvard in negotiations. She's an environmental policy writer. She's an earth mama. She's an amazing, amazing human being. She said to me in an email, to say that your program has been a salve to me this past year would be an understatement. This is last year. It sustains me. It reminds me to live with open eyes and an open heart, and to show up and do the best that I am able. I feel connected to other women in this program and in my life, and I am so very grateful that you are choosing each moment to live these teachings and to bring them to light for myself, others, and in service to the world. She, like all of us, is way more and more potent than the sum of her parts, right? You can see all the ways in which we are all different faces and facets. And when we fully show up and embrace who we are in body and mind and heart and spirit, and show up with other women and be like, you know what, I'm thinking about this, or I'm kind of nervous about this, or I'm kind of thinking I want to try this thing, or, oh, I hate exercise. Please, I'm looking for inspiration. Any other exercise haters out there? This is the way that we keep turning our attention toward the sun and letting the shadows fall behind. Rise. This is a word that you've heard me say again and again. This to me is all of it. I am here to help you rise into your next best and highest evolution. Rise comes from the Old English word risen. To rise from sleep, to get up, to stand up, to rise to one's feet, to rise together, to be fit, right? To be fit, to be seen, to be fit, to serve, to be fit. I mean, you got to be fit to raise a really good kid. You got to be fit to do good things in the world. This is how it is. To rise for a journey. It is attested from the 1200s to move from a lower to a higher position, to increase in presence, to rise in fortune, to prosper, to become prominent in this universe, to rise from the dead, to rebel, to revolt, right? To be radical, to come to pass. This is what it means to rise. So here's the question. Would you like for me to help you rise into your next best and highest evolution, starting now, like now? What I want for you beyond all things is I want you to take your next best right steps. I want you to rise. But that ultimately isn't for me to decide, dear one. I can only tell you what roadmap I have followed and hope that you glean something useful from it and from my journey. So as I see it, you can keep going, doing what you're doing, or you can try to create a life-friendly self-care program about which I'm speaking with those pillars of body, mind, heart, and spirit. You can do that without a proven roadmap, without a tight community of people moving in that same direction. And what's going to happen is you're going to run the risk of waking up a year from now where you are now, or perhaps having lost ground. Or you can both feed in, commit to rising into your next best and highest evolution now, with a roadmap, with a community, and with a timeline in mind, 28 days, and with me as your lamp holder. You are invited too. So this is the program. Told you we were going here. Here we are. Radical Self-Care Roadmap is the only guided program of its kind that not only shows you exactly how to create and implement a life-friendly self-care program, but also teaches you how interconnected your self-care is to the abundance, meaning, and vitality of your whole world, making self-care an absolutely indispensable part of your life. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is imperative if you want to make a difference in your life, in the life of those you love and touch, and in this world at large. And once you know that in your bones, you won't drop it any more than you'd stop brushing your teeth. This is Radical Self-Care Roadmap. In this course, we are going to pinpoint what is really in the way of you taking better care of yourself. We're going to put into practice daily self-care that does not feel like another thing to do. It is largely mindset. We're going body, mind, heart, spirit, mind, body, heart, spirit, body, mind, heart. We're working all these pieces all the way. It's like a soul massage. Putting into practice daily self-care practices that do not feel like another thing to do, but raise you up inspired and ready for anything. We're going to build a foundation for vitality, ease, and impact in your life through small, doable steps. We're going to jumpstart your health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We're going to create a personalized, practical, you are going to, with my support, create a personalized, practical, radical self-care plan. And we are also going to have quite a bit of focus, dear ones, on change, transition, transformation, perimenopause, menopause, and I'm going to talk about that. And there's a bonus I'm going to throw in specific to that this time that I've never done before. There's 4 modules: body, mind, heart, and spirit. You've got the basis of those already. There's 12 lessons. There's quizzes, there's PDFs, there's supporting resources, there's tiny little 2, 3, 5-minute videos for each module, and there's easy peasy ways for you to implement what you are learning as we go. There's time for practice and implementation, and then there's daily morning checkups, where I'm going to show up with you every morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, live, just for 10 minutes. You can join me live. That's 6 o'clock in Portland. That's 9 o'clock in New York City. I don't know where it is in your world, what time it is in your world, but you can show up with me just for those 10 minutes. And if you miss it, guess what? You can send me your questions. You can write anything. I'm going to have a little inspiration for the day every single day. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to have real life practical connections, and it's going to be recorded so you can come back to it anytime, all the time. And there's going to be ready-made community. This is the best ever. What we know about programs and making shifts and making lasting changes is the importance of being in community. There's just no way around community when we talk about wanting to grow deep roots. Like-minded women walking by your side. Now, like I said, at the bonus number 1, if you choose to register for this program, I'm going to give you this bonus. This bonus is called Dessert for Breakfast, and this is what holds all of my favorite little recipes. And they're the things that I've made with my own hands. And these pages are filled with scrumptious enough to serve to even your most particular guests and nourishing enough to eat anytime, even for breakfast. Now, if you're thinking that perhaps maybe Britt has this thing that I don't, or well, it's easy for you to say you don't have kids, or that's easy, blah, blah, blah. If you think there's something innately in me that makes it possible for me to see life this way and to live this way and to thrive in this way, I'm here to say that is not true. What is true is I simply have both a history and a map that I follow every single time that I want to rise. I said it in the beginning, I close my eyes, I go to those 4 pillars, I do that exercise, I drop in, I sit in my meditations, I make my cashew milk, I make my green tea matcha. I have practical ways in which that I am hunkering down and anchoring down into living a vital life. So when I want to rise in whatever way I'm being called to do so, I use the map and rely upon the 20 plus years, 30 plus years of living as optimally as I can and having that be my focus in my life and in my work. Second bonus, this is monthly Q&A. I'm showing up every month for the whole year, each and every month for the rest of the year. You're invited to join me for a live Q&A where you can ask me anything. This is where you bring your struggles, your challenges, your roadblocks, where you're getting stuck, what's inspiring you. Ask me anything. This is like incredible group coaching. And then you just let me work my magic. I'm just going to share everything I got to help you untangle any limited beliefs you have about time and energy and whatever else you think is standing in your way. This is the second bonus for registering. Then if you're still like, I don't know about this, here's what I'll say. 7 days. If I see that you've been in your membership portal and you've been doing the work and you're still not satisfied, you go in, you check it all out, you see the module, you download your calendars, you've got daily calendars, you've got weekly calendars, you've got the monthly calendar, we've got all of these that I'll be walking you through how you use these, etc. You've got a workbook, you've got PDFs, you've got it all. If you do the work and you go, you know what, this is not for me, within 7 days of enrolling, you tell me and I'm going to give you a full refund, period. That's how it works, full refund. Now, this is your third bonus, not second bonus. What am I thinking? This is the Radical Self-Care Kitchen class. Now, people ask about this all the time, and I show up randomly here and there, and we've done this once before. We're doing it again. It's the Radical Self-Care Kitchen class, where I'm going to share with you some of my real life recipes, gadgets, products, and a few of my favorite meals and snacks and smoothies and hacks. This is very rare and very unusual, and I'm just in my little Mexican kitchen. So as you can see, and that's really my little Mexican kitchen. And so this is your bonus number 3 that has a value of $79 to sweeten the pot, if you will. All right, so you've got your first bonus, which is dessert for breakfast, your second bonus, the live Q&A, the third bonus, Radical Self-Care Kitchen class. And when you add all of those things up with the actual program of Radical Self-Care Roadmap, which in comparison to other programs of this caliber, I always try to keep price point a lot lower than what's out there in the world based upon my experience, based upon what others are offering, etc. The value of Radical Self-Care Roadmap is over $500, and your price for the whole program is $249. So today, $814 is the actual cost. If you were to buy all of these pieces individually, it's $249. 28 days, 4 modules, 12 lessons, $249. So how do you do it? You literally head over to registration. You're going to head over to registration. You're going to get, you can just go to Britt B. Steele, and it's right there in Immersions, Radical Self-Care Roadmap. Enroll now, sign yourself up. Once you register, you're going to get an email, right? This is how you register. It's super simple. You just click on that little button, buy now. And then there's going to be an email that's going to be sent to you. You're going to join our Radical Self-Care Roadmap Facebook group if you so choose. I set this up last night. There's 23 members already in our Radical Self-Care Roadmap 2021. Just a reminder for those of you who did this in the past, right? Did the first run. This time only, I'm inviting you into the Radical Self-Care Roadmap redo because we worked out a lot of the kinks and quirks and hitches in our get along, and we're doing it again. So I'll be sending you all a discount code as well. But we have a new Facebook group, and that is Radical Self-Care Roadmap 2021. Then here's what I'm super excited about. We have a new membership portal. And you go into the membership portal, you'll get all the information. It's super simple. You'll be able to watch tiny little videos piece by piece by piece. You're going to be able to see your progress and chart your progress. And then the best part about this is going nowhere. It's going to be right here for you to return to again and again, going nowhere ever. So if you don't get through it in these 28 days, but you really want to buy it now, but you can't start it until September, never you mind. Just now is the time. It's only going to be here for you to join up until the 6th, the night of the 6th. And then it's all going to be closed down, or night of the 7th rather, Saturday the 7th. It's all going to be closed down. So you have until now, until the 7th to purchase. So here's the other final little thing. And this is literally a picture of all of us crones. I don't think there's any, there might be one of us who's in our mid 40s in that picture. I think I was 49 in that picture. We're all just glorious perimenopausal and menopausal women. Here's the deal. This is the hour bonus. 'Tis the hour bonus. If you want to join me in this hour, navigating the change, I'm going to have a group coaching call, right? For navigating the change. I put value priceless when I do coaching. When I do group coaching, it's around $400, depending upon how many people are in the group. But I'm just saying priceless, because if you're going through perimenopause or menopause and are feeling all the not so fun parts, been there, done that, of this initiation into the next years of your life, you can join me with your questions. Boy, I didn't even spell my name right. Here, Britt, I actually have 2 T's in my name, and I wrote this. I will share my intimate details of my journey and the journey of my clients and my students, and we can all share in sisterhood, connection, and community. Let the change begin. So to remind you why you're here, you want more than ever to live an authentic, meaningful, good life, and you're ready to take the next right step, or you're ready to start listening to your intuition and start taking better care of yourself. You've had enough of the other, or you know that you're living below your potential, and there's no better time than now to change that. If you feel like you're already feeling a bit exhausted and overwhelmed, and you're worried that you might not have time to do this course, what I'm here to say is that this course will be here for you from this point forward. So do what you can, join us now, be a part of it to the degree that you're able, and know it will be there. If you find that the course just simply is not a good fit for you, you have 7 days. You look at the coursework, you say, who can't do this? Not my style, not working for me, and you get a full refund, no questions asked, period. If you feel like you've tried other online courses before and it wasn't a great experience, I'm here to say, and please, those of you who've studied with me, please put this in the comments. If you know this to be true, what I'm about to say, I don't want to toot my horn. I want to toot your horn. I want to toot your horn. So if you feel like this course is worth it for $249, if those of you who've come back to this again, or you're here because you appreciate my teachings, or you're here because your life has shifted and changed. I know you're out there. I've heard it from you before. If you've tried online courses before, there are courses out there that are a dime a dozen. No disregard. Everybody's out there doing their very best. And I'm here to say I have thousands of hours of experience. Janae, you've been with me for decades out at Cedar Ridge as we sat around and you said, give me an amen. And we talked about anything and everything under the sun. We talked about the 5 elements. You know, we danced around the fire, like all of these pieces. I'm here to say, I gotcha. Like, I not only gotcha, I'm going to be there for you in a way that you don't generally experience with teachers. These 28 days, I am yours. I show up in the morning. I'm answering all your questions in our Facebook group. I'm just right here for you in all the ways, always. So if you've tried online courses before and it wasn't a great experience, please look for the comments from others who've studied with me and have done online work with me, and they can attest to this is who I am and this is how I teach. And it's fun, and I show up bedhead, and I show up with puppies, and who knows what I show up with. If I'm tired, you're going to know it. If I'm sick, you're going to know it. I'm going to share it. I'm going to integrate it into the teachings. I'm not shining it on up here. I'm sweating, you know, I'm just sitting here sweating because I live this. I love this. Okay. So Dr. Marilyn O'Brien, retired pediatrician in Portland, says, learning from Britt is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Thank you for your sweet support. Candace Schutter, it's been more than a year since I took my first course with Britt, and I continue to tap into the wealth of content. It is a profound gift to receive guidance and loving support from someone whom I feel I have so much to learn from. So you can go to brittbsteele.com, Radical Self-Care Roadmap, dashes between each word, or just go to Britt B. Steele. There's a bar at the top for you to enroll. That is it, my friends. So I want to open it up to questions. I'm just right here. Gone a little long. I'm so sorry. I just get so excited and I'm so bad at time. Britt is very honest and authentic, so much knowledge, and she loves to share it with all of us. I love you, Janae, so much. Lisa Erickson said, yes, 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 it is worth it. I received so much from this self-care program roadmap last year. Ether, why did I get Ether? Oh my God. It's like 15 years ago on retreat in Janae. And her name's Janine, but I call her Janae because you call yourself Janae. She's got a beautiful son who interviewed me on a project during COVID on yoga, and he asked me lots of hard questions. I was very impressed. Feeling it all every day. Way, way, way worth it. Go all in just as you are. You will begin a most revelatory road. Thank you, Andrea. Yay. So bring on your questions, beloveds. I'm just right here. I'm going to hang around for a few moments, and I would love to hear your questions, your thoughts, your comments. Just remember, you can head on over right now over to the Radical Self-Care Roadmap, to my page, to brittbsteele.com. Let me just put that in here right now. I bet I can do it this way. Hang with me. http:// What's my website, you guys? Someone tell me. http brittbsteele.com. Radical Self-Care Roadmap. Let's see if that does it. I don't think I need to put that all in there like that, do I? Dun, dun, dun. That's it, you guys. I'm going to just bring it over here. I'm going to drop it right in here. Any questions? Boom. There it is. There's the link directly for you to get all the goods. I'm just loving you. Hanging on right here for just a few more minutes. Ooh, I'm sweating. You guys, I was like, can they see this? Look at, this is so gross. Don't you hate that? So, okay, let me tell you why this is happening. It's happening because it's like 1,000 degrees here and the humidity is 1,000. I'm sure of it. Did I just do that? Did I just show you my sweaty armpits? I told you, you get all of me. All right, beloveds. So I'm not seeing any questions, but what I want you to do for me, you can do this. Can you do this for me? TMI, I know. I'm sorry. So you know what you can do for me, beloveds? You can tell your friends, because I'm doing 3 more of these. 3 more. I'm doing one Saturday morning. I'm doing one on Tuesday, and I'm doing one on Wednesday. I'm going to be traveling, so I don't even know where I'm doing the Tuesday and the Wednesday. And you can sign up and come again if you want to. Tell your friends about Radical Self-Care Roadmap. Tell your friends about this. And by the way, the best of these, because they're all going to be the same-ish, the best of these, like the cleanest one where I don't show you my sweaty armpits, is going to be in the Radical Self-Care Roadmap in the membership portal. So just know that as well. I feel like there's stuff I want to tell you, but I don't know what that is. So anyway, I love you so much. Please tell your friends. Please share the word, share the wealth. So here, I'm going to tell you this, since I have captive audience. So I am in process of putting an offer in on a piece of property in Guanajuato, Mexico. It is my favorite city in the whole world. It's in the center part of Mexico. And I want you all to consider being somehow a part of the service aspect of that project when it unfolds. For right now, lots of prayers, putting in an offer. I'm doing a capital campaign that's coming down the pike, probably through I Fund Women. I don't know why I'm telling all you this, because I just need prayers. We just need prayers. We need prayers for, what did I say? For right landing. So I pray for you to land right. I love you all. And now you understand what this program is, Janene, and this is what it's all about. So I'm just going to let you all go with that. If you have any questions and you're interested in the project and what I'm doing with projects of impact, etc., I have a really cool video I put together. I love you. I'm grateful. And if this program you decide is not for you, make sure that you show up on Facebook at Rising with Britt B. Steele, because it's our free Facebook group, and I put lots of stuff in there. And then come with us on Sunday mornings for yoga church. Okay, love you to the moon and back. I'm gonna let you go already. I've been hanging on for more than 20 minutes. So mwah, mwah, mwah. Besos y abrazos. Sweet day to you. Love you. Ciao.